Hello everyone, welcome to Club Live here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. I am Scott Carney and it's me on my own tonight, but I am live on YouTube and I am live on Twitter tonight. So please do subscribe to the channel, costs you absolutely nothing to do so, and like the video, that'd be very much appreciated as we look ahead to the return of league action. The boys are otherwise engaged tonight, unfortunately, and I couldn't get anybody to come on with me, but there was no way I wasn't coming on the eve before the league football campaign kicks off, and not to join the Club Live faithful and our build up to that. And of course, we made another signing today, which is great. So I will do my best to muddle through. I won't be on for an hour, as you can imagine. You don't want to listen to just me rambling for an hour. And if you are new here, trust me, it's more than just me. There is other guys on here, so it's not just me waffling on for half an hour or so. But it's the other guys do come on and contribute from time to time. But yeah, my goodness, the football season is upon us. It has creeped up on us rather quick. First of all, hello chat, hello everybody. Good to see you all. I'll do my best to do comments as well, but I'm a man. Multitasking is not my strong point, but I will try and keep up and try not to put me off too much. With your usual hilarity that tends to happen in the chat. But yeah, good to see you all. Please do get involved with each other in the chat as well, as we are. Yeah, we've got plenty to speak about before we kick off in the game tomorrow against Motherwell, the start of the league campaign. So yeah, tonight we'll start with the signing of Mikey, Mear, which I think we were all just waiting for. I think it was just a matter of time before it was announced. But the club website announced Rangers Football Club are today delighted to announce the signing of Mikey Mear from Tottenham Hotspur on a season-long loan deal subject to international clearance. The highly rated teenager becomes the latest addition to Russell Martin's squad. Mear, who turns 18 later this month, I'll just pause for effect there. He turns 18 at the end of this month. Jeez Louise. Has progressed through the ranks at Spurs since the age of 7, debuting for the club's under-21 side at just 15 years old. Crazy. He made his senior debut in North London against Manchester City a little over 12 months ago, becoming the youngest Spurs player to feature in the Premier League at the age of 16 years and 277 days. Mikey Mear speaking after the signing. He said, I'm excited to get going. As soon as I heard Rangers were interested and wanted me to come, it was a massive opportunity for me. I'm excited to be here. Hopefully I can show the fans and everyone what I can do. I've always loved Rangers as a club. My family have always loved them. Good sign that. That's a good sign. John, sorry, I've just quickly seen that as I was reading. Thank you very much for the donation, mate. Very much appreciated. I honestly really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. And yeah, he said, I think with the new boss and the way we play, it's a great place for me to be at the minute. It was a pretty easy decision for me to come here. Russell Martin continued. He said, we are thrilled to bring Mikey on loan for this season. His profile as a brave, aggressive attacking player is one that we are keen to add to the squad, and he's certainly a player who, despite his age, can make an impact on the team from day one. He's a player with a huge potential, and it's a testament to his quality that he's been entrusted by Spurs in both Premier League and UEFA Europa League with such regularity over the last 18 months. So what does that mean? What is Mikey Mear all about? Well, he's got the label Wonder Kid next to him, so that if anybody that plays Football Manager will know that tends to be quite a good sign. But he is 17 years old. I mean, it is a bit of a statement. I think that in itself, the fact that we went to sign a lone player at 17 to come in and make an impact on the first team. Clearly, there is a lot of hype around this guy. There's a lot of hype around him, with Spurs hoping that he's going to become a main player for them, a really massive player for them. He's certainly not built like an average 17-year-old. He's a big lad. He really is. He's developing really well, and there is some serious interest, some serious hype around him. Might be a bit of a coup for Rangers, honestly, to get this sign, and I would imagine there would have been a list of clubs in front of us that were knocking at the door that were interested in taking him on loan just due to the hype that is surrounding him. Everybody wants the kind of the next big thing, if you like, even if it would have been for a loan deal that most of them would have been in for, obviously with no obligation or no any sort of agreed option to buy on this loan, because Rangers couldn't afford him, not even right now with the hype that surrounds him. You're probably talking 20 million plus right now for him, and if it's in the Premier League, you're probably talking 30 million plus. That's how crazy things are, but that is how big the hype is around him. So primarily a left winger. Again, I'll pause for effect. There's a lot of left wingers in this team now, there really is, and I don't know what it says for the likes of Curtis. Now, I don't know if Mikey Mear's definitely going to be playing on the left-hand side. We've seen him, he has played on the right-hand side, he has played as a 10, but primarily he is a left-sided attacker who likes to cut in, which is part of the philosophy, I suppose. Part of the philosophy under Martin is the kind of inversion of all the players. Really, everybody inverts as we go in. I'll be killing that if Adam Thornton's watching this. His skin will be crawling. But yeah, he's decided to pick Rangers, and yeah, I think a certain Mr. Jermaine Defoe might have had something to do with that. Who has been reported that he said he should come here. And every time you hear something like that for Jermaine Defoe, and you hear Jermaine Defoe talking about Rangers, he's always a player I think to myself, oh, if only we got you earlier, honestly. He was still a cracking player while we had him, but it would have been great to have him for longer. But yeah, it leaves us overloaded on that left-hand side. You have Gassama there, you've now got Mikey Mear there, you've got Curtis there, you've got Cortez, who was originally signed to play there. I know we've seen him on the right-hand side previously, but that's who you have out on that left-hand side. I think we are... I'm not against this signing by any stretch of the imagination, so I don't want this to sound like I'm saying the wrong thing or kind of going against the signing, but I do believe that we're just getting stuck on a wee bit of just signing players, and that's the way it looks. We cannot have 4 deep for our left-hand side, especially when Gassama is a guy that we've signed. Gassama is a guy that I want to see primarily play because he is our player, and that's no disrespect to Mikey Mear. I want to see him succeed. If he succeeds for us team, then great, but I would rather see him play over I'd rather see Gassama play over Mikey Mear. It really is as simple as that for me, because he is our player. Whether he's going to be used on the right hand side, it's going to be interesting to see what Russell Martin decides to do with him. I think it's an exciting signing because of the hype that is around about him. I think he's under 21 stats are pretty ridiculous by all accounts, in terms of assists and goals and everything else, involvements in goals. They are pretty off the charts, really. And he is a player that's looking to make a real impact and develop his game and take that next step, and he's chose Rangers to do that. Rangers obviously offers him European football now as well, with us being guaranteed at least Europa League football. So that gives him an option to get yourself, not in the market there, but to play against a European opposition, to play against bigger teams that are around the world, because even if we get to the Europa League, there'll still be a few big names there. You better believe it. And the same as the Champions League, obviously, if we get there, the biggest of the names are in the league stages. I know that we've got 2 rounds to navigate before we get there, but it's still an attractive option for him to come to Rangers, and it's just chose to do it. I'm definitely delighted that he's here, and I want to see more of him, but I still caveat that with saying I'm slightly concerned about how many left-sided players we now have, with the very little options that we have on the right, considering we are persisting with Dill, a guy that I'll come to later in the show. So look, welcome to Rangers. Obviously, I'm excited to see what he can do. But I would expect him to be coming here with some form of clause in the contract that he has to play X amount of games, and Tottenham are not just coming here, not letting him come here just to sit on the bench. So I'd imagine he's going to make an impact and want to make an impact. So competition for jerseys is good, absolutely it is. It'll bring the best out of other players, especially when he's coming in. He's actually younger than Curtis, which again is just kind of crazy when you kind of look at it and you look at both players. But welcome to Rangers, Mikey Mear, and very much looking forward to seeing you. Not quite sure if he's going to be ready for tomorrow. I think his international clearance is still pending, but we will see. Hopefully that clears tonight, and we might see him tomorrow, which would be good. We'll move on now to obviously Wednesday night's game. and the reaction from Russell Martin after getting through to the next qualifying round of the UEFA Champions League. He had pride in the team. He said he's incredibly proud of the team, the staff and the fans for the performance in a difficult match against a good opponent. He said after starting both games poorly, the players composed themselves at half-time and responded well even after conceding a goal. He believes the team will grow significantly from this experience. Speaking on player performances, he highlighted the kind of the full squad as they showed courage, composure and sticking to the plan despite the pitch conditions. He said Jack Butland was amazing over the two legs and showed composure with his feet in the second half. Danilo, he said it was fantastic, especially with a lot of his out possession play. Gassama scored a brilliant goal and is becoming more ready to start, though he needs to be patient. And then Kieran Dow was praised for his reliability and set pieces defensive work. Again, put off 3 times I've paused for effect in the first 10 minutes of this podcast, and for being a good footballer with a great attitude in training. He hopes that he remains part of the squad. He mentioned about European football. The Europe, obviously, he mentioned that it guarantees us European football in the group stages until it was Christmas and after Christmas. And he says they will attack the Champions League now that they will have a right go. When asked if it was luck on their side, Martin acknowledged that both teams had big moments, but his team made the most of theirs. He also credited the goalkeeper for playing very well. A few things in that. We'll go back to the performance as a whole. Obviously, we done a reaction straight after the game, and you wait for things to simmer down. Right off the bat, I'll say, if you'd have told me in the 2 games that we would have the front 3 of Curtis, Danilo, and Dow starting as our front line, and we were going to get through that tie 3-1, I probably wouldn't have believed you. So, based on what we do have available and what we managed to do, it's a huge result for Rangers. I don't think we can take anything away from the fact that it is a massive result for the team. It's a massive result for the club. It's a massive result for Russell Martin, considering it's the first real task that was put down in front of him. He had to pass that task, and he did. The overall performance was not great. But I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm delighted or happy or I'm kind of overawed with what I seen on Wednesday. It was a real struggle to watch as well. I thought we looked disjointed at times. I thought we looked a mess pretty much all over the back line. This playing out from the back's not quite there yet. We brought trouble onto ourselves. We couldn't get more than 2 or 3 passes in a row, but resulting to long balls that were useless, literally useless. We were doing nothing with them. But then I'll again go back to what Russell Martin said, that we took our chances and they didn't. So, for that alone, we deserve to be through. I think it was imperative for us to score when we did on Wednesday night, and I think Gassama's clearly made a name for himself already, and a player that I'm very much looking forward to seeing more of. I think he starts now. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. I think he has to start now just with the impact from off the bench for the 2 games. For me, he would start, and as Ali would say, spoiler alert, he's in my team for Saturday. He is in my team for Saturday. But the overall result is fantastic. It really is. It's a brilliant achievement at this stage of the season, so early in the season as well, and with the players that we do have available, which it still needs work. Of course it does. It all needs work, but I'm delighted that we got there. I'll go back to a few things that Russell Martin said now. Danilo, he's off the ball work. I'm not just doing it because I'm bashing him. I'm generally not, because I've kind of already written Danilo off. I didn't see it. I've even seen watching the game back. I didn't really see it. I thought his passing was horrific, honestly terrible. Danilo's passing, and I thought he had very little impact in the game. He was part of the goal, don't get me wrong, with the couple of kind of swipes at it, the couple of chances he tried to create himself that were both kind of ricocheted back, and the first one to himself, the second one to Gassama, who calmly tucked it away and made a great finish. But and again, I understand that I have said this, and I do still stick by it, that I don't think Dessers is good enough to be our number 9. But as soon as he was on the pitch, I felt like we had a presence up front over Danilo. And I know they were tired, and I know it's a different stage in the game, and I know you can caveat that with a lot, but you've got to kind of, my eyes don't lie to me with certain things, and with Danilo, I just don't get it. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's the guy that we can rely on to be our number 9, our starting, or more than not starting number 9 for this season. I don't think he's got it in him. He's done it in pre-season, yes, but he's not done anything so far. and two competitive games. I do get that, but I've still not seen anything really from him. The team was poor, the service to him was poor. I get all that, but singling him out for praise, whether that's just a wee bit of a keep your head up thing to him because he's maybe quite fragile because he's not probably had the start in competitive football that you would have expected based on the way he came in after pre-season. But I just don't see it. I would love to think if anybody would agree with me on that, but for me, I just don't see it. I know obviously Ali agrees with me on that one, but I can't see it. I can't see it with Danilo. The most concerning one is Kieran Dow. It generally is. Excuse me while I take a sip of beer. But the most concerning one is Kieran Dow and his persistence in playing him. Now, whether he likes him or not, it's a different thing, I suppose. But I don't think he's really started. And I feel like I'm criticising Russell Martin. I really shouldn't be. But the things that he said after the game, I thought, are you trying to convince us we're seeing something that we're not? And I can't see what Kieran Dow offers to this Rangers team. I honestly can't. I don't know what he is. Adam Thornton, when he was on with me at the start of the week, mentioned that he thinks he's only playing because he's a left-footed player on the right-hand side. That can't be the only reason that we play him. That can't be the only reason that we persist. I thought he was just there. That he was just on the pitch. He didn't have an impact. I thought he was pretty poor on the ball. I didn't think he was good defensively. He was partially to blame for the goal as well because he completely loses his man at the back post. I don't know what he sees. I really don't know what he sees. And then with the signing of today, as I say, of Mikey Mear, you're going, there's a big problem on that right-hand side that we're not addressing right now. I know he was good, decent enough for Birmingham last season. I do get that, but give him to Birmingham, send him to Birmingham. I don't think he has anything really that I can say is an attribute that's something that I can say that's he's really good at this or he's really good at that. I just think he's generic across the board. I think he's a very average football player for this level. I think he's very average, and I don't see it. I just don't see it. I mean, I want to be wrong. I want to be convinced otherwise, but watching him so far since he's returned to Rangers and previously when he was here, I don't see anything. I really don't. I couldn't really nail down a position for him, whether he's actually an 8 or... And I know he's getting asked to play slightly out of position, but for me, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Whether Russell Martin's making a point to the other players that are in that team that could play on that right-hand side that you need to raise your games, I don't know. I really don't know, but the persistence with him is not going to be for me. And again, spoiler alert, I've dropped him for tomorrow. That would, if I was to have my pick, I would drop him. So I'm a bit concerned about that. I would happily see Kieran Dow leave, and I would not lose any sleep over it, and I think we can do better in that area. I've absolutely got no doubt. Bordering on McCausland might have been a better option in that area. Generally believe that because at least he plays there, and I'm not a big fan of McCausland. Obviously things have went pretty wrong for him, but even Cortez, we've tried it there, and you might as well try him. I just don't think Kieran Dow offers anything at all. So that one is a bit of a concern for me. I don't want to be a bit over the top, but that is something that concerns me in terms of him continuously picking him and making reference to him as well in press conferences. It does a wee bit, but does concern me. I'm not going to lie. It does. I'm just like, we just can't persist with it. We really can't. Speaking of persisting with something, the left back area, as we all know, Max Aarons is not a left back. That is something I think we've seen quite clearly now, and we have to go into the market now. It's quite clear that the manager has written off Ridvan, and probably rightly so. He's not reliable enough. He's not made enough of an impact when he's had any sort of consistency in games without having an injury or a knock, and it's been a wasted probably investment from Rangers' part, and we should be doing everything that we can do to move him on. Jeff Day obviously featured on Wednesday night when he came on. Looked okay, I thought, but clearly not the first choice in terms of a right back playing over the top of him. So it's a concern for me, that left hand side, and they're the two areas right now. The fact there's three, but I'll come to the third one. But they're the two main areas right now where I think we urgently need work: the left back position and the side of attack. I don't want to call it right wing because it's not really going to be right wing, I don't think, but the kind of right-handed side of our attack, I think they need serious surgery. I think we need serious work there, and I think it's, I know we're in August and there's a bit, we're only just in August, but we are getting to the point now where the serious football's all about to begin. We're about to kick off the league campaign. We have to get off to a flyer. We have signed a lot of players in one position and none in another. And I know it's always a Rangers, you're always a Rangers fan looking for criticism and everything, but I'll just be honest about the way that I see things. And I'm hoping that's the last that we see of Max Aarons at left back. I would generally rather play Jeffy there because he's a natural left back. I think when you've seen when Aarons moved over to the right hand side on Wednesday night, how much more comfortable he looked on the ball. And if it is the shoehorning of James Tavernier into the team and Aarons into the same team, then that's something that should stop right now, and you should make it. Martin should make a decision whether it's Aarons or Tavernier for him moving forward, and we'll all have to back that and stick by it no matter what. But playing him at left back just who's in the team, I don't think is something that's going to be able to work. I'm not in the frame of mind that Aarons has got any impact there, and he looked shaky. He looked really shaky on Wednesday. So not something I want to see moving forward, that's for absolute sure. But with the money now that's now guaranteed, obviously we go through to the next round to play Victoria Pilsen, and the first leg will be at Ibrox, which is obviously this coming Tuesday, a 8:15 kick-off. The following week is the Wednesday, Tuesday, don't know. I'll confirm that in the next pod. You know that anyway. But the Tuesday, which is a quick turnaround, it really is at this stage of the season. It really is a lot of football in at a very, very short space of time. But the one that's now guaranteed, you've just got to hope that we can go into the market and get that right winger, get that left-sided defender, the left back, and a central defender as well. I think that's an area that we're going to need reinforcements in as well. Probably a naturally left-sided defender. I think is something that we should be looking at. But that money is now guaranteed in terms of the minimum that you're going to get from the Europa League group stages now. So it's hopefully at a bit of a floodgate moment where we can open the floodgates and we can go and get these players that we've maybe been sitting on, bring them in, get them integrated into the team as quickly as possible, because I've said that many times already, it's kick-off tomorrow. The league starts tomorrow. It's already here. So hopefully with all that. But look, still congratulations to the team. Congratulations to Russell Martin for getting through that tie with the players that he had at his disposal. It wasn't a classic. It wasn't enjoyable to watch. There is still a long way to go, I think, before we see the best of what Russell Martin believes is his style of football, or what should be the style of football. We've got a long way to go yet, and I still think there's a long way to go in terms of recruitment, in terms of players in and players out. We've got a very inflated squad right now as well, so there's going to need to be players moving on pretty soon. We can't really go into a season with 40 odd first team players. That's not exactly going to work, but we will look forward to what comes over the next couple of weeks in terms of transfers ins and outs. So yes, tomorrow we kick off the league campaign versus Motherwell at Firth Park. Kick-off is at 5:30. Ahead of the game tomorrow, even today, Joe Rothwell spoke with the press. He said that the team is recovering well after a midweek game and they're ready for Saturday's match. He said that it is crucial that we need for it. The crucial is the need for early results, especially with new playing style and limited training due to the many games that there's been. He says it's strange having European games so early in the season, but beneficial for practicing these new style of play, and he's glad that they won and he's now focused on the next game. He said Rothwell said that the significant fan support even in Greece, and he expects it to be vital throughout the season. On the expectations from him for the league, he said he anticipates fast and erratic Premiership games initially. The team will aim to control the games and build the momentum to win, and also winning the league is a major goal, but the team is focused on a positive start tomorrow. I think he's been okay, Rothwell. I think it's a bit of a shock that he's going to be, looks like he's going to be the six. I don't think many expected that. I think he looks very comfortable on the ball at times. I think they struggled on Wednesday, but again, you can't name a player that didn't struggle on Wednesday. I thought everybody was very poor. Nobody can really say that they got past 6 out of 10 on Wednesday, which is even more remarkable we're through. But anyway, I digress. But Rothwell, I think he looks you can tell he's played at a decent level. I think he looks very tidy on the ball. I think he looks very composed. I think in Scotland, I think he will be pretty crucial for us in the league in terms of where he's going to be playing. I think he's going to be that kind of quarterback role, with football and cliche, but it looks like he's going to be like that. Martin looks like he's going to trust him in order to bring the ball in, distribute the ball, and make things easier for the rest of the team. I'm a wee bit worried about him defensively because I've not really seen much of it, to be honest. It's not really something that he's done in the past in terms of playing as deep. He's not as deep, but playing as the six. I've not really seen much of him doing that. Through his clips, he's always been a kind of driving midfielder, which I suppose Russell Martin will still be asking him to do. It's probably a bit of both, maybe more box to box than a six, I suppose. But I think he's made a decent start. I think he speaks very well as well, and he's a player that I think's came in straight away and he's went, right, one of these jerseys is mine. So I just like I like the look of the guy. It's just one of those players that you see on the ball and you go, I like the look of him immediately. So it's always good when you get a sign like that, I suppose. But yeah, I think he's been very impressive, and I think he will be pretty crucial for Russell Martin, and quite a prominent character within the team in terms of the selection. I expect him to play more games than he doesn't under Russell Martin, because it was one I think Russell Martin identified quite quickly that who he wanted, and Thelwell as well. So they've got their man, and yeah, I think he'll be one of the generals, if you like, within the team, and I expect him to see him more often than not. Russell Martin also spoke to the press on the signing of Mikey Mear. He said that he's pleased with the signing. He's a super talented boy who was desperate to come here. He said his availability for the next game depends on international clearance from FIFA because he's under 18. He said that, and I'm not bringing in terms of having young players, he says it follows a philosophy that if you're good enough, you're old enough, and he believes in developing young players to help the team win. That's a crucial point, I think. I know you were all kind of, I think everybody's a wee bit like, 17, really? He's 17, which is, I mean, it's an amazing achievement, and all credit to him for the dedication that he's clearly shown to the game, but he must be a very naturally talented boy. See, I'm not going to lie and say that I've sat and watched under 20s, under 21s Tottenham games. I certainly haven't. But with the hype that's around him and the fact that Russell Martin's put that tagline out there of, well, if you're good enough, you're old enough kind of thing, then that's a good thing to see. That's a good thing to see. It's a promising thing for us to hear as well, in terms of fans as well as him. So yeah, Martin's quite clearly happy with the signing. On the team's recent performance and the future, he said, on a hectic few months, and he praised the team's resilience. He stressed the importance of a good start to the season. And on squad updates for tomorrow, he confirmed that we will need more players, and mentioned that some players may leave the club. He addressed the left-back situation and gave an update on player injuries. The injuries were Hamza Igaman and Asgard will not be available for tomorrow's game, which is disappointing. I think we're all a wee bit desperate to see Asgard as well. I'm seeing what he wants to do. He's a player that I thought was going to come in and kind of play in that dual role, but I say after speaking with Adam, he doesn't believe that that's going to be the case. So I'm interested to see where he's going to fit in. Is he going to be more of a rotation with Raskin and Diomande? Is that the jerseys that he's fighting for in terms of the kind of wide eights that we're playing? Or is he actually indeed going to be that kind of right hand side on a few of the? I think it was Barnsley we played that we drew one each with during the pre-season. Diomande looked like he was playing in the dual role just now, which I thought was quite interesting to see. Maybe that's something we'll look into. I don't know. As you can tell, I'm looking for all possible ways that Kieran Dowell doesn't make the starting 11. I'm not going to lie, but yeah, disappointing that they two players. Igaman, I have my own opinions. You call me a pessimist. I don't have any inside knowledge or nothing. I just believe that he's on his way out. I think it's just getting to that point where it's just going to get announced that he's away, and he won't be playing. So he won't be playing for us again. So I think he's probably off. That's just the kind of feeling that I'm getting, is that I think that he's going to be away. So which is disappointing, but it is what it is. And lastly, just the relationship with the Motherwell manager. He said he's got a positive relationship with him, and he played with him at Norwich. So tomorrow, yeah, Motherwell away. We've had worse first worst first games away ties, if you like, to kick off the league campaign. At least it's not Kilmarnock, I suppose. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Without kind of disrespecting the achievement that we did on Wednesday by getting through that tie to get to the next stage of the next round, even of the Champions League, the qualifiers for the Champions League, even. The real business starts tomorrow for all of us. I think we all would agree with that. I think we are all at the point where we have to win the league. We always have to win the league. We always have this optimism at the start of a season, and I do have it. I do, honestly, I do. I think we have to see something different, just based purely on the amount of players that we've signed. We've obviously seen different bits from Russell Martin in terms of how he wants to play, how he wants to play out from the back, how he wants to do this and that, etc., etc. But the real work for me starts tomorrow, and I don't mean any disrespect to Europe to that. I with the security of the new owners, if there was one season that we could go without any European football, and in order to concentrate and win the league, it would be this one for me. This would be the one that I would be like, right, let's set our ground out from the start. Let's let the rest of Scottish football know that the new owners are not here to mess about, the manager's not mess about, and this was the one that we are. This is what we are going for. We are going to win the league. We're going to lay our marker down. That's obviously easy said and done, and it's not the way that they'll want the business to run, because they obviously want the return, the financial benefits of playing at a serious level in Europe. Europa League, you get good money. Champions League, you get even better money. Conference League, not anywhere really near it. So that's what the new owners want. However, for me, as a fan, being selfish about that, I would give up Europe now, this season, though, because I do love playing in Europe. I absolutely like the European nights are some of the best nights I've ever had at Ibrox. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But to go and win the league this year, 100%, I wouldn't care, because it's the financial backing that you have currently, that they know what they are putting in, and they're not exactly at the point where they would be desperate to take everything back out so quick. So this would be the year that I would happily bow out of Europe early in order to go on and win the league. Doesn't work like that though, does it? It would be so easy if it did work like that, but unfortunately it doesn't. But yeah, tomorrow the real work starts. We have to win the league this year. We have to win the league every year. Nothing's ever going to change in that regard. And yeah, I'm hoping that the team are up for it, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Good time for us as well. Me and Ali are going for a wee bit of late lunch tomorrow, with a liquid accompaniment, probably. We'll probably have a few meals tomorrow. Yeah, and then I think we're going to head down to our local, down to the Viceroy, to watch a game. So very much looking forward to it. I really am. Tomorrow, what do I expect? I expect Rangers to win. Do I expect us to see the finished article under Martin tomorrow? Absolutely not. I really don't, just based on everything that I've rambled at you to for the last half an hour. I expect us to win, though. I expect Rangers to win. I think tomorrow will be a bit of a tester and an eye-opener, and we'll see just what this style is going to be like within domestic football. It's not going to be an easy game. I don't think there's really any easy game when you go away in Scotland. It will be a test for Russell Martin. It'll be a test for this team. Motherwell will fancy their chances. They'll be figuring out a way, no doubt, of how to play against this Russell Martin team based on what they've seen over pre-season and against Panathinaikos. But I expect Rangers to have more than enough to win this game, and this will be hopefully the start. Look, we say it all the time, we have to win every game until the first Old Firm game of the season, and then we need to win that one, and then we can address things. That's what we always say, and it's never truer than it is right now. The real proper test from Russell Martin does start tomorrow. We have to win. It's as simple as that. Rangers have to win. And the people will say, oh, it's the start of the season, yeah, but if we drop points, Russell Martin's only bit kind of bagging pressure on himself. And that's one thing he has done with the win over Panathinaikos, is he's eased the pressure on himself, because he got through the tie. Might have not been pretty, but he still got through it. Can you imagine if we didn't, and we'd seen a performance like that on Wednesday night? Can you imagine the way the Rangers support would be? Oh, beggars belief, it really does. But yeah, Rangers have to win tomorrow. Really is as simple as that. My team for tomorrow, what I would play tomorrow based on what we have available, would be Butland, Tavernier, Giga, Suter, Jeffrey, Raskin, Diomande, Rothwell, Gassama, Dessers through the middle, and I would play honestly, anybody. If Mikey Mear's international clearance comes through, I'd play him on the right-hand side. Anyone, honestly, maybe play Lyle Cameron there, or even drop Lyle Cameron down and put Diamando out there, whatever they have to do, just something else on that right-hand side that isn't Kieran Dow. That's what I would like. That's what I would like to happen tomorrow. And saying that, we'll expect to see Russell Martin pick Kieran Dow tomorrow, as we all kind of shake our heads, I suppose, at that, but because he seems to trust him. But I think it's Dessers looks like he's more ready for it than Danilo is. I would play Dessers. I think Gassama has to play on the left-hand side due to the impact he's had. No disrespect to B. Curtis, I think he's done great, but he's going to be the understudy to Gassama in the long run anyway. So that's what my team would be. And I'm going for 3-1 Rangers. I'm going for Dessers to score first, even though Danilo will probably start, but I'm going for Dessers to score first to announce that he's back, even if it may be for a short brief of time, because he also might be leaving the club. But there's so much to go, isn't there? There's so many things, so many unanswered questions, so many doors and avenues still open in terms of players in and outs. There's so much more to go yet before we can really call this team a settled team. So I'm looking forward to it tomorrow, absolutely, and it starts now. Everything starts properly as of now. I'm really looking forward to it. I very much hope your team wins tomorrow. Thank you to everybody for tuning in and listening to me speak on to myself. I'm sorry I didn't really put any comments up. It's hard to do it at the same time, so I do apologise, but I still wanted to come on and do it tonight. There's no way I wasn't going to. So yes, I will leave it there. I will stop rambling there. If you wouldn't mind, please subscribe to the channel. We're on the push to 8,000 subscribers this year. 8,000, us idiots. 8,000, which is just absolutely mental. And yeah, if you could like the video as well, that'd be very much appreciated. It's free to do so. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe and like the video, and you can't tell you how much it helps this channel. It really does help us massively. Thank you for the donation tonight as well. It was John, I think. If I'm wrong, I'm really sorry, but it was a while ago. And thank you for all your comments I can see coming in now. And yeah, very professional, Andrew? I'm not sure about that, mate. Don't know if I'm very professional, but no, I really do appreciate it, everybody. We will be back tomorrow with a club reaction after the game. Hopefully a bit better than it sounded last time we done at the Viceroy. I don't really know what happened there, to be completely honest, but something that we're working on, trying to get it a little bit better, iron out the wee technical bits. That's what pre-season's for, is it not? But yes, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the game tomorrow night. I'll speak to you after the game with at least Alistair anyway tomorrow night. And yeah, I very much hope you see us very happy after a winning start in the league for Rangers. Again, thank you everybody, really do appreciate it. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow. Cheers everybody.